you want your shorts to perform better, you have to have better hooks. I'm going to be giving you 5 key pillars on how to go ahead and create the best hook possible, as well as give you actionable tips to apply these 5 different things. These will be 5 things that will improve your hooks immediately. If you do these 5 things, I guarantee you that your videos will perform better. I know this works because I got 2.7 million views in the last 28 days. And these are the secrets on how I go viral whenever I want. Alright, tip number 1 is picking the hook segment. You want to make sure that the first second is at the most interesting point of your clip and video. You should have started a bit later, like, you know how this is 3 seconds in, but it only gets interesting here. So you wanted to start it at that clip where everything goes blah. Like this is boring, interesting. So you should have started it here. So the lesson is you want to start where it gets interesting. Cut out any filler because you have only 1 second to capture people's attention. So you wanted it to start it right there where like boring, like this is like a here. Like you wanted to start it just before I touched the wall. That's where it's interesting. Within the first second, you want to be at the most interesting point of the video. 2 things you want to avoid doing is 1, you don't want to start your video with complaining. Don't start with negative clips.
My shoulder's tired.
People don't want to watch negative, they keep scrolling. But do go over positive.
Keep going, gratitude, thank you.
This is positive.
Thank you.
You should have started with the positive. People innately don't want to listen to negative things. So you want to start with the positive of me being grateful, me thanking with each step. So start with the positive and then jump back to the negative part to give people context on why I'm trying to be grateful. When I say I'm one with the universe, people will understand it comes from that pain. So always start for the first 3 seconds for the first part of the video. Have it be a positive hook because that will hook people in. And then you could maybe put in the negative for context after. And 2, you don't want to start your videos in silence. Don't start your video in silence. Watch how this was silent in the beginning. So it took 3 seconds for some noise to pop. And as a result, people scroll past. You want sound bites in the very first second.
Sun, come outside. It's so cold.
This did much better because there was this sound bite instantly and there wasn't any silence at all. Avoid silence. Lastly, if possible, start your videos with the interaction with a stranger because that does really well in today's time. So you're going to start all your clips with an interaction with a stranger. So this part, I'm just on my own. I'm trying to figure out what it's called. Then I ask the waiter, what is this called? And then he tells me the answer. That should have been the starting point. See, this is boring. I'm just talking to myself.
It's like really popular.
Like, who cares? Me trying to figure it out.
What's the name of this again? The name of this? Tapsolog. Thank you very much.
That's a good starting point. So instead of starting at me talking to myself, me pausing, me trying to figure out, you should have started it with me asking the guy, and then maybe you could jump back, 5 minutes earlier, me trying to figure it out on my own. The second thing is a visual hook. You want to make sure that your first frame pops and grabs the viewer's attention. So the very first frame of your video needs to be interesting. Like right now, this is very boring. 1, it's sideways, so people are like, what the hell? 2, my back is showing and I have this backpack so you can't even see me. There's this weird dark water patch that makes it look weird. This is a bit more interesting, but it's only on the top 30%. Like this is not a good first frame. The first frame is very important when it comes to short form content. So that's why this video flopped. It's just a boring first 3 seconds. So make sure the first frame is something that pops to keep people from scrolling to the next video. And then if possible, in your first second, you want to include your face because your face card is very important because people recognize your face and that will keep them watching. So you always want to start with your selfie. Like you should have started here. You shouldn't have that boring clip. Like it looks nice in all the view, but people want faces. People recognize faces. So you shouldn't have started here. You should have started here. That would have been a good intro. That would have been good for retention and hooking. So always try to start with the selfie and you could always jump back to that. You could put that clip afterwards. You always want to start with the selfie clip first to catch people's attention so that they see that this is a real personal brand and person. Thirdly, you want to make sure that first frame that people see is visually powerful. This video did really well because it has such an amazing opening shot. Like just look at that. How beautiful is that? So the moral is you want your first shot on your short form content to be this wow. Ideally even the first 3 seconds. See if you started it with this, like the selfie, that wouldn't have done well. The first shot is very important. So you want to make it as impactful as wow as possible and that will keep people watching. And as well as you definitely want to make the first 3 seconds visually stimulating. You don't want to start with dark footage. Dark footage is horrible for retention. So if in the first 3 seconds it's all dark, people can't see your face, even if there's a voiceover, it is very bad. So what you might want to do if it's just a dark footage, you should have put these photos, these epic epic night photos underneath. Have it B-roll underneath as I'm talking. So that would have helped with retention. Like put this bright photo underneath, or even switch it around. Put the dark talking on the bottom and then B-roll these photos from the get-go so people would know what they're expecting. So if you're forced to use dark footage, get creative with it. Use B-roll, use stock image, like do something where it's not dark and you can't see anything. People are visual. Social media platforms, these short forms, it's all visual. 3, the hook segment starting point. You want to make sure that you jump straight into the video and cut out any filler. So make sure that you always find the best starting point for that clip. This is a filler intro of me showing the outside of the restaurant, me walking downstairs, me walking to my table, me sitting down. Like you should have started with that, of all those cool pots and the food. This is where you should have started. That intro prior was filler, wasn't necessary. So make sure you jump straight into the video and remove all this filler. Here's another example of finding a better hooky starting point. So there was an irrelevant intro. You could have probably cut off the first 2 seconds and jumped straight into here.
I want to research how these deers get here. This one still has its horns.
So I talk about I want to do some research. You could have cut that off. You should have jumped straight into this one still has its horns, because that's a curious start. Like this one still has its horns, this one doesn't. Like that's a good starting point. And then you can put I want to do research after, or just cut it out.
Like who cuts off the horns?
Even this is a good starting point.
Like,
who cuts off the horns? Now let's move to number 4, compression. Make sure you remove all filler words, especially in the first 3 seconds. So in this video, there was a ton of filler words. Let's listen to it.
Well, I was in
Cut this
Japan.
out.
What happened?
I was saying, while I was in Japan, what happened? You could have cut that out. You could have just went straight into it, because that doesn't add anything to the story.
Every day,
Andrew,
asking
every
me
day.
and telling me that.
Now there was a repetition, asking me and telling me. You should have cut one of those repetition. Just be like, telling me. Remove the asking me.
Well, I was in Japan. What happened?
Andrew's every day asking me and telling
Andrew
me that he
telling me
Andy's a lot.
I miss
Every
Andy a
day.
lot.
I wish
Every
Andy
day.
was here. I really miss Andy Mai. I wish my buddy every day.
So remove the intro of like when I was in Japan, and then the tell me every day, like there was that double repetition. So remove filler words. That 15 seconds could have went down to a solid 10 seconds that was tight. It's very important that you cut out any filler words in the hook. You want to make sure you go straight into things, even if it means just cutting half a second from the beginning. So you could have jumped straight into things. I said, I got a
singlet, 2 heat techs.
So straight to singlet. I know you might think, okay, cutting out that half second of I got a, how would that make a difference? Well, the thing of social media, every second matters, especially the first second. That's how short people's attention span is. So you want to go straight into it. Cut out any filler words in the beginning. You want to compress your intro as short as possible. Like a 4-second hook can be squeezed down to 1.5 seconds. So this scene, it's too long. Like you should have only maybe done, like it's 4 seconds. Try to get it down to like 1 to 2 seconds. Or start it there. That half second of it opening the feet. So don't have this. Start it there. Start it like half a second and it zoom up. And then I'll cut to here. So get it down to 1 second, because people scroll quickly. So the first 3 seconds is very important. So try to get the intro as condensed as possible. So you turn that 4-second intro down to 1.5 seconds. Lastly, 5, some hook tricks. 1, in talking head videos, you can use B-roll that is very hooky. Start your talking head video with a B-roll that is quite clickbaity, like this. It hooks people in.
There's no consequences. If you lose, if you die, you can always create a new account. You don't feel the pain,
Back to
but
my
if I'm
face.
stuck on this.
So here's another clip. You should have started with cool B-roll of something, that clickbaity, like a game, me talking about living life like a game, and maybe get a movie clip of someone waking up dying from a game or something. That should be the first 3 seconds. Hook them in and then jump to my face. If there isn't a hooky starting point that will chronologically lead into the video, you can get the hook part, put it as a teaser into the beginning, then go into the video explaining it from the beginning. So sometimes the first 1 or 2 seconds is necessary, but it's a boring hook. So what you want to do is you want to snip it, get like a 1 second of what the clip is about and put it in the beginning. So in this case, leave this, but get a snippet of this. One piece, me saying one piece, and put that in the beginning, then start from the beginning.
We're in 7-Eleven. It's so cool to see these One Piece comics.
Then
I'm a
cut
big One
this,
Piece fan.
put that in the beginning. Go show the One Piece
So cool
magazine.
to see these
So
One
one take and
Piece
then
comics.
cut to the
And it's so
beginning.
cool to
So when the intro is boring but you need it, snippet the interesting part, put it in front of the intro, and then play that boring intro that then gives you context. Because that 2-second segment, it was boring enough for people to scroll. Like it's just some random convenience store. But it's important, so you do want to keep it because it adds context. So put in the interesting part, then play that out. That's how you hook people in. Another tip is you don't want to start with your back to the camera. Don't start your videos with someone's back where you can't see a face. There's no central focus. Like, you should have started with a clip with my face in front, because then people would have known who this was. But you started it with a back. People can't see a face, they'll just scroll past. Like, it's a very long back segment. Like, also the clip was quite boring. You should have used a more interesting clip. I know you wanted to sync to the music, but the first 3 seconds you could have done the clip of me putting my hands up when I'm facing the camera. Like, something like even me picking up my phone, like movement, versus me sort of just walking. This is too boring, and there's no face. And you'll want to make sure that you're not color grading for dark, dull tones. Color grade and make things brighter. So you should have color graded the first scene to pop. Right now you color graded it where it's still a bit dark. Like, this is a better, brighter shot, but that first shot, even these shots, they're very dark. Dark footage don't do well on short form. So always start with a very bright, color popped, color grade scene at the very first second. It's very important. Like, this is a good shot, but this is dark. Everything else is dark. You just want to color grade videos to be brighter in general, and basically not dark and sad. So hopefully that helped. My goal is to give you guys all the best stuff completely for free and give as much value as possible, and basically give you guys the knowledge where you guys can take this and apply it on your own. You don't have to pay anyone for help. That being said, if I didn't answer any questions whatsoever, please message me on Instagram, email me at consulting@andymai.org. I'm answering all questions from everyone. I want to try help as many people as possible and be the creator that I wish I had when I was coming up. Furthermore, if you want to work with me side by side, send me a message, because I'd love to work with you. If I can't, I'm more than happy to just keep helping you out completely for free. But send me a message if you're also interested in some mentorship. That being said, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.